What's up, you guys? Welcome to Sex Talk with T Gray right here on WEMS Radio. I am your host, T Gray. It's good to see y'all. Welcome back. Of course, you already know I got a dynamic guest in the building, but before we even get to him, I want you all to make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure that you are tuned in to me each and every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you are right here to have some fun, have some laughs. We're working on our sexual bucket list. I've been getting some messages that have been entertaining you guys. So I want you all to keep at it for 2022. And hey, Aretha Williams, first in the building. What's up, girl? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, you guys. So tonight I have with me Rueben. Would you guys? He is host of SOM Talk Live. He's the man, the machine behind a lot of different things. You know, High Strung was on last week. He said they about to work together. We about to find out what's going on. Come on in.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
It's fantastic to have you on. I know you've been busy, fresh off of walking the carpets at the BET Awards and everything, and just being dynamic. But for those of the people who don't know how amazing you are, go on, tell them who you are, young man.
Well, my name is Rueben Wood. I'm a host of SOM Talk Live. I'm also a part of Quality Control Music, as QC DJs as well. I'm also a music producer, and I'm signed to Sony ATV as well as The Orchard.
So, as a music producer, um, you get to be um, you get to be the blueprint, so to speak, for what we hear, for what we fall in love with. Most of us, we get the beat first before we even think about the lyrics. Um, how does it feel to be a producer and to be at the realm where you are and to walk into the BET Awards? How does that feel?
I mean, it feels great, but it took a lot to be able to even get here to this point. Especially the position that I'm in now versus like over the years. There's a lot of grinding and a lot of work, you know.
And so tell everybody about SOM Talk Live.
So SOM Talk Live is actually one of the top nighttime talk shows for Nord TV for Verizon Fios customers, Digicel and Optimal. It's actually one of the number one shows on Nord TV channel. So yeah, I mean, I do a lot of different interviews with celebrities, major actresses and actors, so forth and so on.
So how was that transition? I know this is sex talk, y'all. Believe me, I promise you we're gonna get there. But there's so many things that I want to know about this man. So how was that transition going um, from not being on cable to now you're one of the top shows? How was that transition?
It was actually pretty dope because really I started out in media in like 2012 because I launched my own magazine, business brand, and I started doing interviews back during that time. But I wasn't recording. I was actually writing a lot of them out. So after I kind of made that transition from basically just writing everything down, I actually started recording it. I kind of got into radio, and once I started getting into radio, I felt, um, you know, comfortable enough to be like, all right, well, let's do something with TV. So I started acting, doing background work and stuff, and then from there, I went into full fledged, like I was gonna do a talk show, and it got picked up.
Oh, well, congratulations to all your success. I know, listen, you guys, if you all watch me adamantly, you already know I'm going to be right back here tomorrow on Illustrate Radio. And I'm pretty sure that we have Rueben sliding through there too. So definitely when we have you on Illustrate, we're going to dive into just your journey and your path and just have a lot of fun with it, find out all these little intricacies about this dynamic man. But That ain't what we here for tonight, y'all. That ain't what we here for tonight, y'all. Whoa, that ain't what we here for tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. This is Sex Talk with T Gray. I have Rueben Wood with me, you guys. Mega talent in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Show up on time for everything else but your girl, but it's cool. So for 2022, Rueben, we are doing our sexual bucket list. My challenge has been to people that, we've all have survived this pandemic. And, clearly, if not anything else, we have been full witness to how short life actually is. So we're tackling sexual bucket list, what we want to do before we get up out of here. And I know, in your position, you probably have had the opportunity to have a little, a couple little experiences that not us regular people have. You know what I mean? If I had produced pussy, I'd be on a bit. But what are some things that you would put on your sexual bucket list? Just maybe one or two that you want to do before you go.
Um, you know what? I would say probably number one is to probably have sex in a different country.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say number two would probably be
Who is giggling?
probably would be do something random, spontaneous again. Yeah. Yeah.
You said random, spontaneous.
Because like restaurants have been closed for the pandemic, but they starting to open up now.
So when you think about your experiences up till now, when you think about some of the things that you've done, do you feel as if you have really found who you are sexually? Do you feel like you know your sexual self, or do you feel like you're at a phase of you're just scratching the surface of who you are in the bedroom?
I definitely know my sexual self all the way.
Okay. So listen, let me see how I can ask this. We're going to pull, we're going to dig down deep in here and pull some shit about you today. So if you could think about your very first time you had sex to the very last time you had sex, what do you feel is the biggest thing that you've learned about yourself?
I would have to say endurance. How to last as long as possible.
Oh, wow. Okay. To last as long as possible. How long do you think you really should go?
Well, I mean, you definitely got to make sure your female partner actually has an orgasm, or it's you're not really doing anything.
So you just gotta last as long as she does.
I mean, she might last longer than you, depending on the female. But I'm just saying, you at least want to make sure that she came or had an orgasm or something. If not, I really don't know what you're doing, because it's easy for a man to ejaculate. You know, it's more complex for a female to have that moment themselves.
That's an interesting thought process.
Yeah.
And I say that because, granted, most men have one to two, ejaculations, granted. But women, we come so many different ways and so many different times. So even in an experience, like I kind of feel like it's backwards. I kind of feel like it's easier for me because I can come 20 times without problem. I feel like it's easier for women You know what I mean? But then I guess too, maybe that is a lot more so dependent on your partner. So the notion that, men could just do anything, y'all still gonna get in that. And women, I think they say that it's more emotional, what have you, for us. Do you believe that?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely emotional, mental with women. Because if you don't stimulate a woman, like mentally, it's more than likely not going to happen anyway.
So as a man, um, with endurance, you're saying is one of the biggest things that you've learned. What do you think are the top five things as a man that are most important when you all are in the bedroom? Let's have endurance as one. So maybe give me four. What do you think as a man is most important for you all to bring to the bedroom?
I feel like the other four is probably knowing the person that you actually having sex with good enough to know what
Mhm,
you're doing. Um,
mhm,
the other one would probably be like make sure y'all have conversations. Have a conversation. I mean, unless it's just some random stuff, just random hookup, and it's just straight fleshly based, whatever. But yeah, just have a conversation would probably be number three. Um, Number four would be know what both of y'all are into, because I feel like that's important. Because if y'all not like, if either person isn't stimulating the other person, it's not gonna be anything anyway. And
mhm.
and the last thing I would say is probably know your limits because that's important too.
Indeed, indeed. Knowing your limits is important. So, on the flip side of that, the responsibility of the woman, what do you think the woman's responsibility is to the man? Or what do you think that we need to definitely bring and focus on in the bedroom?
I mean, honestly, that depends on the man that you with. I can't really give a sound answer for any other man. I can only speak for myself, but in reference to myself, I think one of the biggest things is actually knowing what your significant other, the person that you choose to do that with, is actually into,
Mhm.
because there are things that might turn the, the the other person on, but it might not be something that you're interested in doing, stuff
Mhm.
like that. So it just depends on actually knowing your partner, well enough to be like, okay, just for a lot of women, they like, foreplay, they like stimulation and stuff like that. And a lot of times, man, you might not want to do that. You might just want to get to it. So you really just gotta, as a woman, just know what your man into. He might like sloppy toppy or something, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
So, what do you think about the women who just want to get to it? A lot of times there's a negative stigma attached to women who are more sexually forward, who are more aggressive, and who like, come in, shut up, but I up out of there. Like, do you think that that negative stigma is something that should stand, or do you think that is something that should be respected?
I mean, I don't want to give like a biased answer, but the reality is, at least from my perspective, because sex is actually spiritual as well. Um, it depends on the mindset and state of the individual, one, and then two, like if you just aggressive in general, whether you a woman or a man, if that's what your MO is, I mean that's just how you are, right? But if you might be going through something that's causing you to be aggressive as well, you know what I'm saying? If
Mm.
you might feel sexually frustrated or something, or you got all this pent up aggression, so you just like, I'm gonna just get it out, or you going through something, so you going through the motions, and that might lead you to, have sex with multiple people or something like that. I mean, ultimately, it's still spiritual. So, whatever the case, it's not even about the stigma for me. It's just make sure you're not going through something like you're not feeding an addictive spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So we're going to do something a little bit fun. We're going to do a little rapid fire. Okay. Now, rapid fire. You got to be pum pum with it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Don't be scared.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't want you to think. I just want you to pum pum on me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Eyes open or eyes closed?
Open.
On the face or on the titties?
The titties.
Would you do head or penetration?
For the woman. Or what?
If for you, would you rather be getting head or would you rather be penetrating?
Uh, I mean, yeah, I'd definitely rather be penetrating a woman. Yes, definitely.
Missionary or doggy style?
Doggy style.
Doggy style. Whips and chains or anal beads? I felt like that one would trip you out. The look on your face was priceless. Priceless. So, if anything, you guys, okay, if anything, while he's in it, he gonna be watching you, and when he get done, he busting all over them titties. That's what's happening. Busting all over them titties. Of your sexual experiences, have there been any that have stood out to you where you feel like you walked away from, you like, yo, you really learned something that time? Have you had any experiences like that that kind of shaped and molded who you were sexually or who you've become?
Oh yeah, but hey man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I done had moments in life where I done been going through some things myself too. So it's like I feel like I learned a lot while I was going through things. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have sex, when you're going through something, like even if it's just a breakup or you know going through the motions, just living, and you get wrapped up in stuff. It becomes a little different. Um, Also, I think that sometimes as men we get wrapped up on expectations of stuff and everything, and
Mhm.
you have to also remind yourself somebody else have an expectation of you. So I mean, yeah, I learned a lot. A couple of different occasions has been like, that's interesting.
First off, I have to know who is giggling in the background.
Nobody is giggling in the
That's you giggling by yourself?
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about your first time.
Okay.
Could you share the story of your first time? Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you share the story. Yeah, I'm gonna go cut this oven off. Y'all don't even understand. I'm about to burn the house down. I'm sorry. Let me
Okay.
just tell the story.
So you want me to just tell the story?
Yes.
Okay.
Gotta have something in the oven. This smells good, but I gotta take it out.
Okay. So the first time for myself, uh, was real crazy. Like I actually wind up. Well, yeah, I didn't even have a condom. End up having sex with a plastic bag on. So yeah, and the plastic bag broke. So yeah,
Wow, for real.
yeah. And then thinking about that, like after the fact, I was like, how did that even feel for her? And then I know it broke. The bag broke immediately as soon as I went.
So hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, so I feel like we got to really get into this. This is funny as shit. Um, how did you decide to use a bag? Like, how old were you?
I don't even want to say.
I ain't even gonna take. Listen,
Oh,
yeah, this is a no shame zone. This is a no shame zone, no judgment. If I'm going to tell you that I'm pretty sure you weren't younger than me. I'm pretty sure.
I'm still not gonna say. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So how did y'all decide that hey we're gonna use it? Who had the bag? Who had the bag?
I mean, basically, it was just a bag in the room because we snuck upstairs, and it was at her cousin's house, and I think somebody was home, so we were sneaking around because people were asleep in the crib, and yeah, that happened, and the bag broke. So
Did you finish
yes, I did.
on her titties? Like, how did you finish with the broken plastic bag?
I mean, I finished inside the first.
How did the bag feel to you? You saying, in hindsight, would you wonder how it felt to her? It probably felt horrible, but how did it feel to you?
I feel like it's like literally as soon as the insertion began, the bag broke.
So then you was just raw dogging.
Yeah, basically, and I thought that I had the bag on. I was like, "Why I don't feel that bad?" The reason why is because I was completely raw inside. So yeah,
Dang. Okay. Wow. Wow. Raw dog on the first time, and no baby from the first time.
I don't know.
Look at the Lord. You said no comment. Oh well. Oh. So nerves. What were your nerves like that first time?
Shocked. I was like, "What the?" Because it wasn't her first time; it was my first time. So then I felt weird. I was like, "Did she just take my virginity? Is that a thing?"
She took it, never to be returned. She
Yeah,
took it.
yeah. I felt a little awkward and weird after that, but then I was like, "Okay, so when we gonna do this again?" So
So at one point, no, let me not go there. So we talked a little bit earlier about understanding your sexual self. Okay, being secure in who you are in the bedroom. So one thing that we do here sometimes is we give our sexual self a name. Now, every once in a while, we might dip into superheroes. Well, I don't know. Today might be too much. If you could give your sexual self a name, what would it be? You want to look at this another way? What's your stripper name? What's your porn star name? What would that name be if you had to use description of who you really are in the bedroom?
Since my last name is Wood, I would probably just say
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like Longwood.
Longwood.
Oh, 100% pun intended. I like that name though. So my name is Liz McCoy. Yes, that's my name. I mean, just cause. Just good. But who would you say that you are sexually?
I mean, what do you mean? Like I'm not when you say you mean like cross comparison or
No. Let me think of a better way to ask the question. When I say who would you say that you are? So sexually, myself,
Mhm.
I am like the judge, jury, and the executioner, all wrapped in one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Um, I'm the snatch your soul, but I'm gonna hold you and put you right here and burp you when you get done eating it. Like I'm I'm a little bipolar in the bedroom, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I'm the aggressor, but I'm also the submissive. Um it's hard even for me to try to put a certain name or a certain description to it, but I try to just be full circle in who I am in the bedroom, which is why I say I'm the judge, I'm the jury, I'm the executioner, because you have to pass through me to get to me. You have to satisfy me. And then once you finish, I'm going to take your whole soul. I'm going to kill you. So, but that's just my bet. Everybody has something different that they resonate with, or different personality traits that may come out in the bedroom, or you could definitely be one way outside and then the whole another way inside. So that's why I asked, like, who is your sexual self for 2022? We're getting very in tune with who we are, understanding who we are and why we are the way we are, and then how do we grow from that? How do we add to? How do we build upon? How do we explore if we haven't? um, so it's really just a barrier question. Bringing down the barriers really from within yourself. So that's why I asked, like, if you could really say, well, this is who I am. Some people are kink, some people are BDSM, some people are fetish folk, and it's so many different facets to that. Some people is old school missionary and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, if who would you say that you are?
I would probably say I'm King
Mm, why King Solomon? Do tell.
I mean, if you know the story, then you already
I'm not the only person who's gonna watch this. Actually, I have people who watch my show. Not everybody knows who King Solomon is. Tell for the people in the back who didn't go to church.
oh,
Talk to the people. Tell
I
them
mean, I
who King
mean,
Solomon is and why that's what you represent.
I feel like I said, sex is spiritual. So in order for me to even be doing that, I feel like for myself, uh, it's not it's not obviously for everybody, but like when I myself am doing that, it's like I'm in a completely different space. I'm in a completely different headspace, stuff like that. So it's more spiritual for me. So that's why I said like King Solomon, because King Solomon was really on a completely different spiritual level. Because it wasn't even just about him having multiple wives, all the women and stuff like that. It's like he did a lot spiritually, you know.
Mm.
So yeah.
How how connected? Well, no, not that. Have since spirituality is so connected for you when it comes to sex. have you ever been in a situation where you may have gone into it thinking or feeling that that connection was there, and then find out in the moment or in the act that it wasn't?
Mm, I haven't. I have. I've never had that type of experience because I don't like put myself in situations like that anyway. You
Okay.
know, um, and that's why I was saying like again for me, like I look at it from the spiritual side so much to the point where it's like you would have to be worth the time to have me involved like that
Mhm.
because it's draining really. At least for me as a man, it's draining because you're giving out spiritual energy anyway, when
Mhm.
you're having sex and you're giving out life in general. So it for me it's like nah, because if you feel somebody energy off or you feel like spiritually they're off and everything, but you still choose to have sex with them, obviously it's just lust, but you're not gonna be with them. So at that point it's like, why did you make the decision to do
Mhm.
that? At least for me. Now
Mhm.
for other people, they don't care. They gonna do what they do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, nah.
So, at what point in your life did it become spiritual for you? Um, was that from the first time, or was it something that you learned? Was it something that you read to say, you know what, I should change? Or has this just always been a part of who you are?
I mean, like realistically, um, it really came from like studying the scriptures, knowing history, reading a lot of stuff in history and different things like that. That really, you know, awakened me to a serious degree of saying like, this is what I don't need to be doing, you know. Because a lot of times, especially as a man, we perceive a lot of things with our eyes because we're more visual, And with that being the case, we can fall short of a lot of things because we're so visual, and
Mhm.
it can be like smoke and mirrors that can trip us up. So it's just over the years, and basically going through a lot of different experiences and learning as much as I've learned. Yeah, that's pretty much what brought me to the point where it's like, nah, it's more spiritual for me.
Most definitely. That's beautiful, though. That's beautiful, though. A lot of people have the discussion about transferring energy um, when we have sex, uh, leaving an imprint on a person sexually is big, especially if that person ejaculates inside of you. Speaking from a female perspective, that's leaving a major imprint on a person. Um, do you feel like there's power in that?
Yeah, definitely. Because, like, basically, whether you a man or a woman, the moment that you actually have sex with somebody else, you still gonna become one flesh. At the end of the day, I mean, that supersedes man because it's spiritual, you know what I'm saying? So you still gonna become one flesh with that person, even if it's an animal and you're doing it with an animal. I mean, it's just bestiality, but you still become one flesh because you're giving the transfer of spiritual energy and power. So yeah,
So I know that well, we're both parents. What is what do you think is the most important thing to teach your children? You know what I mean? That we are the first the first phase of what they learn, or at least we should be. You know what I mean, as opposed to their friends and things. What do you think is the most important thing for you to impart about sex to your children?
Well, since I have all daughters,
Oh wow, me too. I got all girls too.
yeah. So I think the most important thing and the first thing is to, teach them one, like it's actually easier for a woman to be in more control than it is for a man.
Mm,
And so, with that being the case, it's more so about teaching them the strengths that they do have, and basically just understanding from a man's perspective, men lie. They lie, and because they lie, don't set yourself up for failure, believing the lies and everything, and then you feel bad about the decision that you made later on, just so that you limit and cut down your own spiritual energy and energy in general being depleted, or you selling yourself short, so to speak,
mhm,
because you know if somebody is choosing to do that and everything, one, because the age of my daughters at, they too young to even be doing that anyway, but when they
mhm,
do get to that age and everything, it's like, think, have enough sense to understand, like, once you start involving yourself in things like this, you can't go back. So you can't, get another opportunity to do this. It happens one time, and then it's like, make sure it's with the right person and stuff like that too.
yeah, those two. That's very important. That's look. That's important for some adult women.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Important for some adult women to really understand that, like who we share our bodies with, people, and I'm not taking nothing away from the one night stands. I'm not gonna act like I never had them before I had, or I'm not gonna act like I'm a saint when it comes to this because I'm
yeah,
not. Um, but definitely we need to be cognizant of who we share our bodies with, and that's a learned thing. It's unfortunate that it's that way, but it's a learned thing. We're going to all have some bumps in the road along the way, but be cognizant of who you allow inside of you, men and women. Because the notion is that men can just go out here, fuck everything, and it's all good. It's cool. It's cool for them. Energy transference doesn't just stop at the women. Women got bad energy too and sending it right into y'all ass. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. That it's not just infections in kids. Because when you think about sex, you think about the negative side. You know what I mean? It's not just infections in kids. It could totally be whatever's on you done jumped off of you and now it's on me. It could totally be whatever negativity you have in your system. Now I've absorbed it. You doing fine and I'm doing fucked up and I don't know why. But it's only because I fucked you one time. You know what I mean? So be mindful of that, you guys, as you go forward and as you make these plans about who you choose to lay down with. Um, don't ever negate the energy of it. Don't ever negate the spiritual aspect of it. Um, don't ever think that it doesn't shape and mold you in more than one way. Granted, our sexual experiences shape and mold us mentally, physically, emotionally. That's only the surface for most people. It goes way deeper than that. So you guys just be mindful of that as you move forward. You know what I mean? So I feel like we touched a lot of things. We did some sex advice. We done advised the children and the grown ups a little bit. Okay. We done found out that you don't go in it with a plastic bag because you gonna be raw dog anyway. That's a lesson learned. Somebody take that with you. So we talked a little bit earlier about your bucket list, and you said you'd want to do it in another country. Where you want to go do it at?
I don't know, probably like France or either the Jordan, yeah, somewhere like that.
You want to be in the river. You want to be in the River Jordan?
Well, no, see, it's the country area that has a
I'm just
hotel.
messing with you. I'm just messing.
All right, let me say Alaska. Alaska. So
Oh, Longwood gonna be cold in Alaska, boy. I can't wait to meet you in person, just so I can, in the most inappropriate of ways, be like Longwood. You gonna know, is that T Gray? Who let her ass in here? But this has been fun, though. This has been fantastic. Having you on. Um, I like that you are so spiritually sound. I like that you are so grounded as a human. I think that there's just not enough brothers out there like that, just in general. Um, and to really be secure in who you are and move in that way, that's like a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? Like you just really don't see it though. So I'm glad that I was able to meet you here, able to have this talk and this discussion and share. I can't wait to get you on Illustrate Radio so we can dive way into all the fantastic things that you're doing career wise. I look forward to that talk. Before we get up out of here, though, I want you to make sure that you tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can keep up with what you have going on, how they can watch your show, the whole gambit.
okay, so you can find me and all information about me on IG at Real Ruben Wood, and that's at RealRubenWood. I post a lot of stuff about the show. It comes on every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. on Nord TV, Verizon Channel 269, Optimum Channel 1100, and what is it, Digicel Channel 564. So yeah, definitely tap in with me on IG. Stay updated. Thank you for the interview. I appreciate you.
Yeah, somebody chimed in, Aretha Williams, and said that you were awesome with the giggles and all. Hell yeah, he giggled his ass through this whole through this whole thing, but I love it. I love it. Love the energy, though. You guys make sure that you definitely follow him. Definitely look for everything that he has going on. Get on that Nord TV, you guys, and watch this show. Make sure that we keep it at the number one spot. And I look forward to whatever's going to come from you and High Strung working together. I'm excited about that. Um, he is a ball of energy that
Hmm.
is just off the chain, and I absolutely love it. But it's something about you though, bro. It's something about you, bro. I don't know. I feel like you might gonna come in there and just and we gonna have some motherfucking magic. Gonna have some magic coming down. So I look forward to it. I look forward to hearing the music. I can't wait. I already said that whenever his next concert, I'm gonna be there with bells on. Um, so I look forward to seeing you guys work and just do your thing. Yeah, stay positive, stay spiritual, stay connected, and all of that. Yes, indeed. So, you guys, this has been fun. I'm gonna be right back here next week. I'm gonna tell y'all who's coming. I'm gonna tell y'all who's coming. Oh, comedian Mark Gregory out of New York. You guys, that's going to be dope. Nephew of the late great Dick Gregory, but making his own mark. Um, no pun intended on there, making his own mark on comedy and just doing fantastic things. So I can't wait for Mark Gregory to come through next week. Um, Illustrate, you guys, make sure you tune in to WEMS for the Illustrate Radio show tomorrow. We have KP the man out of Chicago. Keith Presley is going to be on with us tomorrow. So that's going to be super dope. He's a new author, but he's been the man behind the scenes of a whole lot of things. He got everybody promoting this shit. He's super connected. So we're going to have fun, you guys. So make sure that you tune in. Make sure that you keep us locked in. Make sure that you hit that like button, hit that subscribe so you know every time that your girl is bringing you something amazing. And I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow for Illustrate, and next week again right here for Sex Talk with T Gray on WEMS Radio. Bye bye.